In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how easy it is to use Raylectron. Now we'll assume that you have installed Raylectron. So when you run Sketchup, you will see a Raylectron toolbar where you have multiple icons, but the main one is this one here, which is the one you always want to use. The other ones are just free plugins, and you're welcome to download and install Raylectron just to use the free plugins. So let's start by loading a model, something from the 3D warehouse, unmodified, just as is. Okay, so if you want to get started now, just click on the Raylectron icon. The material editor will come up, and just click on render if you want to start the render. But just to show you how this window works, let's click on the eyedropper to select, let's say, the window of the helicopter. Now you can change settings as far as how you want the window to look like. In this case, we're going to select the thin glass because it is only a single layer. It's not a thick glass like when you use it with a push-pull. So let's do apply to make that a thin glass, and let's query the paint and make that shininess of 10% and a roughness of 10% as well. Now click apply, and let's start the render. Now it will ask you where you want to save it, so select a folder, and let's wait until it's done exporting it, and the Raylectron window will come up automatically. At this point, when you have the file exported into Raylectron, you can either close SketchUp or start working on something else while Raylectron render. Okay, it doesn't freeze your SketchUp program. So now here we get the model viewer. You can rotate, pan, zoom, the same thing as in SketchUp. Okay, and you can change the size of the render output just by going to the viewport and select whatever size you want. Okay, and for this demo, we're just going to fit it to the view. Okay, and here this will select what kind of illumination and stuff you want to use. In this case, we're going to use the sun and the sky, and we're going to use GPU acceleration, which is faster than using only the CPU. But you need a good video card, and the better the video card, the faster the render. So let's apply, close it. We can go here and look at the sky setting. In this case, we're going to use a physical sun and sky, which produce more realistic results. If you don't select this, then here you can select the color that the sky and the horizon is, and on. So basically, let's reset to default with a green background like in SketchUp itself. Okay, so now we're just ready to render. And here it come up. Now as it renders, you can change, let's say, the brightness. So on this computer, I'm just using a basic video card with 960 cores on the video card and 2 gigs of RAM or something like that. It's just a basic card, but if you have a card with, like, 2600 cores or more, it's going to be much faster than this. Okay, now you see how it works, and that's very plain and simple. Now you can go to the model viewer and pull out the material editor in Raylectron itself, which is similar to the one in SketchUp, and you right click on your materials or on your model. You right click just to select whatever you want to change. Okay, let's make the tires here, anything with this material, let's say 100% reflective, just for the fun of it, so that you can see how easy it is. Okay, now you see it's not reflective because it's black. Okay, we just have to change that to, let's say, gray or even white, for example. Apply. So now you can see it's like mirrors. Okay. The reason why black did not show this, even though we set to 100% reflective, is because it's black. If it would be red, it would still be reflective, but you would see the red color. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so basically black, 100% black, cannot reflect anything. So that's all there is to it for this one. That's just for an outdoor scene. Let's load another one. Okay, and this one also is from the 3D warehouse, unmodified. So let's just do a render without changing any materials or anything like that. When you export the model, they will be saved in a folder as a .rof file. All you have to do later, if you want to reload the model, is double click it or open it with Raylectron, and you don't need Sketchup at all to re-render the model. So let's do the same with this one. Set the viewport to fit to view. Let's zoom a bit. Let's go turn on the sun, and let's start the render. Now you can see that, you know, the bricks and the windows don't really look so good because they're just plain materials, no reflections, no bump maps or anything. So let's look at this here and make it bump -10, because the grooves are white. If they would be black, it would go +10, so that they're recessed. And the windows, we'll just make that thin glass. Again, because it's a single layer. If you would push-pull the glass, then you would use the glass setting instead, so that it can have caustics and the proper refraction. Here you can zoom out to render the whole model all at once. And Raylectron is basically a progressive render. The longer you let it run, the better the quality. But basically after just a few minutes, there will be no more need to continue the render, because there are no visible changes really. Okay, so here you can save the model settings, and it automatically save a configuration file along with it, so that next time you reopen this model, it will have save all your settings for your materials, the camera position, the window size, and everything. So now let's go back to SketchUp and load an indoor scene so I can show you how to use artificial lights. Like this model here, again, is from the 3D warehouse. It doesn't have any lights. Okay, so let's create a rectangle. It's very easy. If you make a light fixture, for example, then create your light bulb inside the fixture, and then create a new material and apply the material to the light bulb group. Okay, it's important that also, let me just move that out of the way a bit. Okay, it's important that the face where is it? Reverse face. Here you go. The front face of the of this here is what emit the light. The back face does not. Okay, so don't think that this square here, once we apply the material to it, will shine lights in both sides. It will not. So let's group this here, and let's create the new material in SketchUp and call it light or whatever you like to call it, and select a color for your light. We'll just leave it white for now. Okay, and then apply this to your group and go to the Raylectron material editor and change it from material to emitter. Okay, now it's turned on, it's 35 power, its coverage is 180 degree. That means it's gonna cover, you know, a hemisphere around it. So let's do apply, and then let's render. So now Raylectron will default automatically to artificial lights if it detects it has light, like it has one light. Let's view this again with fit to view. Okay, and just let's render it this way, see what happens. Okay, as you can see how dark it is. You can use tone mapping to brighten it up. Here's the brightness and other settings. Now this here in the back, it's supposed to be a mirror, so we can change this material to be a mirror. So we go to reflection, set it to 100%, and let's start the render again. Now you can see it reflects the floor and part of this wall here. But one trick that is nice about Raylectron is its X-ray level. You see the black void of space here because there are no walls. Okay, it's simply back. There's no walls here. So what we'll do is in SketchUp, once you create your wall, I have it already created and saved in a layer. So here we go. Let me minimize this one. Okay, so now we have a wall. Now if I want to render it this way, okay, well, you cannot see the interior of it. But what if you do? Okay, what most people do with renders is they set the camera in a corner somewhere, okay, like this, but you cannot see the whole room. So what they use is the zoom and change the field of view to something like 65 so they can see the whole room. But this kind of look not so good as everything is elongated and stuff. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll set it back to 35 and we'll take the camera and put it outside, and we'll use an X-ray level of 2 because this wall is made out of 2 layers. So let's start the render. And just to show you how this works, let's just use the sun and sky and render it just like this. Now you can see that all we see is the wall. Now let's put an X-ray level of 2 and render it this way. Now you can see the inside. Now let's make this a mirror and you'll know what I mean. Here we're setting the reflection back. Now you can see the wall here in the mirror, but the camera doesn't see it, the mirror does. This is really cool because you can make renders from outside of your structure while you can still render the interior. Here we can view that in X-ray mode or in wire mesh mode, just like in SketchUp. Okay, let's do it like this, and let's use the artificial light. And let's try that again. So now you see the wall. You can see the wall in the mirror, and the camera is actually behind the wall, but it's seeing through the wall. So this is a very cool feature. Alright, let's stop this. Now let's load another model. Okay, and this basically is just a test to show you about the grass. So basically you set the material onto your object, whether it's a ball or plane or whatever, a terrain of all kinds of bumps everywhere, it doesn't matter. Use the material you want to look like grass or fur or carpet or even a pattern, it doesn't matter. Okay, and basically those here define the length of the blade, like in random, like one is 1/2 inch to 1 inch maximum, and then the width of the base, okay, and the tilt, and the pull is basically random pulling on whatever direction, on the XYZ direction. Okay, and how many blades per square feet. In this case, this is a very small model, so we need to have a lot of blades per square feet. So let's do a render. You're not going to see the grass in SketchUp, but you will see it in Raylectron. Okay, as you can see here, it's got 378,000 triangles that it generated because of the grass. Okay, this here doesn't have near as many triangles. So now it's processing, and here you go. So now you can see, you know, the grass, how it looks like for each material. So now let's just render that using the default. We'll use the sun and sky, and I think we've already set the tiles here to be shiny and a bump depth of -20. Like I said, because the grooves are white and you want them recessed. If you would do +20, the recess here will be up. It will look like the actual tile is recessed, not the grooves. So we just started the render, and now you can see how the grass looks like. If you want to speed up your render, you may want to turn off auto update view so it doesn't have to redraw the screen every frames. And then you can see how many passes is done so far, and just click on update view. So basically after, you know, half a minute, it looks pretty good already. So there's all kinds of things you can do with the fur. Okay, you can even go to the material editor and change your settings for the fur. Let's take the ball for example and make that a regular material, no fur. Okay, now it's gone. When you do that, it will tell you here what's going on. So let's do this one again. And here we go. So there's no more. So this entire model only has 5,000 faces. Okay, so if you want to make this, you know, grass, then you do whatever. You can, here you go, just for the fun of it. We'll make the grass blade a lot taller. So it's processing. So now you can see. So then make them even taller. Here we go. So it's very easy, actually, and kind of fun as well. Some people has made hair for humans, and it looks actually pretty cool. See what happened here? Now you get your camera undo here, so that you can go back basically to unlimited camera undos. This one here, zoom your whole model in view. For example, if you're lost somewhere, you don't know where your model is, just click on that, it will bring it into view. And whatever you do, you have the undo here to go back unlimited number of times. Okay, let's show you about the animation. So let's load another model. Okay, this one for example. Let's just render it right away. Maybe we're actually exporting it, not exactly rendering it, because the render process is in Raylectron. We have to click render twice. So here you have animation. So we can set the slow walk speed, the normal walk speed, and the fast walk speed, and your mouse sensitivity. Like if I go like this, you see how jumpy it is. If I set the mouse sensitivity to the last, then it's smoother because it's less sensitive. Okay, let's set it to -10 or 11, whatever. Okay. Enable gravity, that means that when you're in the first-person shooter mode, you will be always 5'6" above any surface. By removing enable gravity, then you will be floating anywhere, so you will be going up if you're looking up or down if you're looking down. So you already know that here you can move the same way as you do in Sketchup, you know, pan, move, rotate, and whatever. Now if you click on the FPS, okay, it will take about 2 seconds to calculate how many frames per second, and it's going to show you that at the bottom. Okay, your mouse will stay stuck here, okay, but that's normal. But you see now you can just go around. It appears a little bit jumpy because I'm recording at the same time as I'm doing this. Okay, but as you go around, it's just like a game, and you can record this by using the record animation and stop animation. So let's do record animation. And let's go up the stairs. It does that on its own to go up the stairs. And let's jump off. Here we go. Let's stop the animation. Now you can play it back. So this is not a rendered animation now. This is just like SketchUp. And you can click here to save this animation. Now if you want it rendered, then you can go to render view and do save animation here, which means in this case it's going to render 30 frames per second, or whatever amount of frames you selected to have per second. So this means if it takes 10 seconds to render one frame, and you have 30 per second, that means it will take 300 seconds to make 1 second of video. So basically, depending on how good is your video card, it may take several hours or even all night to create a video. So, and here the minimum samples per frame is like, if you want to, let's say let's render this with the sun and sky, all defaults. Okay, so you can see the dots here because it's a very enclosed area. There's very little light coming from outside, so basically you know how many passes it will take before it starts to look good, and that's what you put in here. For other models, for example, like this house. Okay, you would need maybe 20-30 samples to render it while you rotate it and whatever. Okay, because it's outdoor and it's not shaded by anything. Okay, I did not have to re-export it, but it was just to show you. So here, let's render it and see how many frames we want to have before it starts to look good. So basically, you know, you can let it go for like maybe 50 or 60 frames. I mean samples. So you set that to 60, let's say. And if it takes 20 seconds, then basically you can set that to 10 or 20 and do your math. Just, you know, at 20 seconds times how many frames per second, you know, and you'll know how long it takes. So basically that's all there is to it. Okay, there are other settings such as special effects, but let me just show you some screenshots of already done renders. So here I think you've already seen this one, and this one ran for about 10 minutes. Now we got this one, which was from the 3D warehouse as well, and that one ran for about 20 minutes, and all we did was make this here shiny and this reflective and the floor 10% shiny, and that's it. We didn't do anything else. And this here, well, you've seen earlier. And there's you know, these are just example of what you can do with Raylectron. So hopefully this video was helpful, and you're welcome to download and install it and try it for free. Unlimited time, no restrictions, any size you like. You just have a watermark on the screen, that's it. And the plugins that comes with it are free, so you can use the plugin for as long as you want. And just go to raylectron.com and go to our Q&A, post your questions, post your render. Make suggestions. If you find bugs, let us know as well. We'd like to hear what you have to say about Raylectron. So enjoy, and thank you for watching.